Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to This Month in Realty. Today, I'm super happy to have back Heather Witte. Heather is with the Witte Group EXP Realty, serving the Austin and Georgetown areas of Texas. Tell us about the market down there, Heather.
Well, Bob, like everyone is probably seeing, things are slowing down a little bit. They're backing off, slowing down, however you want to call it. But it is not a time to freak out, so don't freak out. I don't know if you're having people freak out up in Dallas.
A little bit.
Just a little bit? Okay. So yeah, people seem to be freaking out a little bit. And you know, you've been around a little while, right? How long you've been in business?
I'll be 20 years next year.
All right. So you've been around a little while. So I started right after, well, I had my license before the mortgage crisis, but then went into things full-time from a property management background into full-time sales, January of 09.
Wow.
I know.
That was a really not banner time for us.
That was a fabulous strategic time to join real estate full-time. Anyway, that's, you know, obviously the market was a little bit soft back then, right? Just a little bit down. And so this time I'm seeing people, you know, respond similarly, but they're doing it, it seems, at a much higher level of anxiety. And I just want everyone to know it's okay. It's going to be okay. We had a market shift way back then. Austin was typically kind of on a 10-year cycle, and we went way beyond the 10 years, way beyond. And so now, you know, we're seeing things leveling, and it's fine. We're still seeing appreciation upwards of almost 9%, right? So it's not the crazy dramatic jumps that we were seeing over the past 18 to 24 months, but we're still seeing appreciation. And oh, by the way, homeowners, you have gotten so much equity built up in your homes. You should just be jumping and singing and having a party, right?
Exactly.
So it's all good news. You know, people aren't underwater on their mortgages. If you want to sell, you can still sell. You can absolutely still sell. You're just not going to see the, you know, 30 offers within the first weekend and, you know, 100,000 over asking. It's back to a more pre-pandemic level of offer scenario. And for you buyers out there, absolutely fabulous news. There's more inventory. You get to choose a home that you really want and not have to worry about, you know, 80 people with cash coming and sweeping it out from under you. Right?
We have this dual-edged sword here where we're getting more inventory, but interest rates went up and then they came back down a little bit, and people are scared off by the high 4s, low 5s interest rates.
They are.
They shouldn't be, because nobody should have expected to get a 2 or a 3. Those years were just like bonus happy years. We should never.
That was like, oh my gosh.
But now people are like, a 5% interest rate, that's horrible. No, that's healthy. That's
healthy. And here's the thing. If interest rates change in the future, there's this thing called refinancing.
Yes.
And most people who own homes refinance within 5, 7, or 10 years anyway. That's kind of normal. I mean, I did it.
Move. Yeah,
I did it. I bought my house in 2000, my first house in 2002. By 2009, I had rolled everything together and refinanced into a 30-year fixed, and, you know, at a lower interest rate. That's how it worked. You know, when I bought the house, I didn't know to do that. But I also didn't know that you could buy on an 80-10-10 combo and avoid paying primary mortgage insurance. But I did it.
We did that our first time. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. People are, sellers right now are actually offering some buyer incentives, which I don't know why most sellers aren't doing this. This is something that is a fabulous idea. They're offering some buyer incentives to help buy down the rate so that the buyers can get in on a lower interest rate.
Yes.
What an amazing way to help promote the sale of your home. Right? So I don't know why agents aren't like doing this every day of the week, but they're not.
I think some people are still thinking that maybe the boom time of the last 18 months will come back, and they can ignore the last 4 months that have been a little dicey. We can just act like that didn't happen. Let's go back to being, you know, like sellers can demand everything. That's not the way it is.
I've got a shovel and some sand. Dig, head in sand.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Yeah. I wasn't sure where you're going with that.
No. Yeah, burying your head in the sand is not the way to approach
No,
any type of financial situation. I'm just saying that's probably not the
and
best
right
option.
now is probably, we've been waiting for a time for buyers to be able to
Yes.
jump back in.
Yes.
We've been waiting for this time and now it's here. Don't
Right.
hesitate. The buyers should jump at this. There's more inventory to choose from. There's not a line of 20,000 people trying to get each house.
Right.
And let's also mention that a lot of the industrial buyers, or some of the two largest industrial buyers, have pulled out
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
The situation with Open Door came to
Oh,
light
yes.
last month.
Yes. I love this one.
They got fined, I think, $62 million for
$62 million for what, Bob?
I think it was for unfair trade practices.
Lying to the homeowners.
We're going to post an article about that.
Yes, we are.
Because I don't want to say what it was, but they got fined $62 million, and they in their agreement they admitted to it.
Yeah.
Zillow had pulled out of their iBuyer program for a while for overpricing of their purchases. The institutional buyers are moving away. Interest rates are up a little bit, but there's more houses on the market. This is the time for buyers to get in.
Right. And prices are
messaging.
adjusting. Well,
Yeah.
prices are adjusting a little bit back to a more normal value.
Right.
So I think what a lot of sellers are seeing that's concerning them is every day we're seeing, and there's clickbait out there for this, where the news likes to generate really scary scenarios for people to read their articles, right? And one of the things they're screaming about is the fact that, oh, there's all these price reductions across the board, and everyone's going, oh my gosh, we're losing value. No, what we're seeing is a lot of these price reductions were on homes that listed thinking that the sales from 2 months ago were the way to list a property today.
Yeah.
And they're having to adjust their price because they started wrong. They priced wrong to begin with, because now in an adjusting market, in a changing market, you cannot look at sales and say, oh yeah, those are valid numbers. Because remember, if a house closed yesterday, they were under contract at least 30 days prior. Right. And so they were probably being shopped even earlier than that. Based on how the market's changed in the past 4 months, you're probably looking, they were on the market probably 10, 15, 20 days, maybe 30 days, even prior to that. Right. Yeah. So what you have to do, and what I've been trying to advise my sellers on, although it's not the most fun conversation I've ever had, is we need to look at active sales. We need to look at those prices, how long those homes have been on the market, how they compare to your home. And if they're not under contract, they are priced wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Because those are the ones that are sitting there month after month after month. They're not moving. Those are where those price reductions that the news is getting a hold of is coming from.
Aren't those called price improvements?
I don't care what you call them.
I hate it when an agent sends me an email. We have a price improvement. No, you overpriced it from the get-go.
You can call it anything you want. It's the same thing. It's like Open Door saying they don't charge commissions, but they do charge 7.5% to 10% fees. I know. Not a commission, though.
I don't talk about her. So what's your message right now as far as where you think the market's going to go by the end of the year?
Ooh, good question. I wish I had my crystal ball here. I'd be like shining that thing up. So, a lot of people are asking this question, and based on what we're seeing right now, and that's all I have in front of me is the information right now, the past couple of months, is that it looks like the market's kind of leveling out a little bit. Let me show you some numbers here. And again, I don't want people freaking out about this.
No, this is an opportunity. This is what people should be hearing.
Right. This is data, and I love data because it doesn't lie. Okay. So the first thing I want people to see is this blue line up here is your median price, right? Okay. Back to 2015, we saw everything skyrocket in 2021. Okay. Here's the past couple of months. It's coming down, right? But look where it is.
It's not going to come all the way back down. Yeah.
It's way up here versus here. So all this equity, rejoice.
Yes. Congratulations.
We hope. Hallelujah. I mean, this is like congratulations, right? You do see that, again, these are the closed sales right here. Okay. Closed sales are down a lot. We
Mhm.
have seen for the month of July, though, if you look at the month of July numbers for the Austin MSA, you're seeing a leveling. Okay, so the pending sales are up, meaning that we're going to have more closed sales this next month because again, you're looking at a month in arrears. So that's good news. That tells me that the market is kind of evening out, right? Instead of declining.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing to look at here is here's our active listings. Buyers, pay attention to this. Look at where these are going. Here's pre-pandemic numbers, right? And I'm sorry, but if you think back to those times, Bob, were homes selling then?
Yeah, pretty darn well.
I know. Now they weren't selling in a weekend.
We might have 3 offers on a house instead of 40,
Right.
but it's still a good time to be a seller.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
look at this graph. Here's the crazy time. Crazy. Here's where we are now. Look at the closed sales, right? Compare that to pre-pandemic times. Does that look kind of
it's returning to normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me amend my statement. It's a good time to be a seller if you're sane about it.
If you're sane about it, thank you.
If you still think a buyer is over the barrel and you can get away with not repairing anything or whatever, you're not going to have a great sale. But
absolutely,
if you're sane about it, you can sell your house for a healthy profit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things. I mean, I have always promoted my listings where we get the house ready to sell.
Mhm.
That means it is pretty. It doesn't mean you have to update the whole house, but it's clean. It's presentable, right? You're not going to take your car with all your kids, stuff in the back and all the food stuck to the seats and everything and ask for the highest price from the dealer. Right. You're going to do the same thing to your house. You're going to get it dressed up, right? So you get the house ready. We do the professional photos. We do staging, whether it be with your own items or with a professional's items, and we market the you-know-what out of it, okay? Now, more than ever, that is absolutely imperative. So if you're working with an agent who literally got their license last year and doesn't have a clue about a shifting market, say, thank you so much for your time. Go get a mentor who's been in the business more than, a year and a half. And then call me.
So speaking of which, how would somebody reach you?
So the best way to reach me is to call me. And my number is 512-994-4663.
And I'll put all your digits below. Will you come back next month and give us an update?
Of course I will.
Okay, tune in next month to hear more from Heather and other real estate experts around the United States and Canada. Take care.
Thanks.